Hello and welcome to another edition of Viking Sports. Viking Media proudly presents Vikings boys football versus the New Trevians for another edition of Friday Night Lights football. This is CK Squared. I'm Chris Kenziora.
And I am Chris Casho, and welcome to Vikings football. Immediately following the game, you can watch it again and again. Please feel free to subscribe to get updates on other games at youtube.com/NNVikingMedia and follow us on Twitter at NNVikingMedia. We'd also ask you to tune in Friday, October 19th, where we will stream Viking Media versus the Evanston Wildcats right here on our channel at 7 p.m. That will be the Vikings' final home game. And we're getting ready to start here on Friday Night Lights, trying to beat the rain.
Yes, this will be an exciting game as long as the rain doesn't cut us off, as we have a good Trevians team against our Vikings.
New Trier is highly ranked in the state, and they are coming off a victory against another ranked opponent in Evanston last week.
Yeah, they've been a hot team this year, and it'll be a good challenge for Niles North to see really how they can compete and how well they stack up.
The Vikings won the toss and elected to receive the kick. They have number 15, Miles Davis, back deep to return, along with number 16, Christopher Harris. Those are two explosive players for the Vikings.
Yeah, both very fast, very athletic. Both are playmakers. We could hope to see something interesting to start the game with.
The Trevians are kicking from the north to the south end zone. Here we go. It's a deep one. Miles backs up into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback automatically. Vikings will start from their own 25 with the second career varsity start for Miguel Picasso.
Yeah, he's a fellow baseball player as well. He's got a good arm. He's a good athlete, and we get to really see what he's got against this New Trier defense.
Miguel is a sophomore, and he's going to have a tough task today. Low snap, handoff to number 12, Jordan Jackson. He gets to the corner. Pretty good gain for him.
Yeah, they don't want Jordan to find an opening because he is very fast. He also does track. He's very explosive, and any opening he finds, he will take it far.
That was a gain of 7 yards on the play. It's going to bring up second down with 3 to go. Miguel in shotgun, sends a man in motion, takes it for himself, up the middle, trying to get the first down, but it's pushed back by, that was a Wildcat, I believe, to Miles Davis, and he got the first down. First down, Niles North.
Very interesting play call here. They obviously did the job, and we get to move the chains.
First and 10 for the Vikings at their own 31-yard line.
Not too bad of a start for the Vikings. Good first drive.
It's Miles again. In the wild. Oh, it was a false start right there, but it's not called. And Miles takes it to the outside. He's got a block, but then he gets stopped by number 10 of the Trevians, Donovan Perkins.
Yeah, he's just short of the first down there. Again, another interesting play call with Miles taking the snap and running for about a gain of 9.
Miguel Picasso once again spread out. It's going to be another direct snap to number 15, Miles Davis. And he's going to run it again, looking for opening. And he gets the outside for another first down. Then pushed out of bounds by number 10 of the Trevians and number 26, Patrick Sitzer.
Yeah, again, they run that same play. Miles was successful in getting the first down and a little bit more.
Vikings are really going to have to rely on Miles with their starting quarterback number 13, Tremaine Connor, out, and also wide receiver and explosive playmaker number 9, Savon Davis, out.
Yeah, well, Miles is explosive enough to do a lot with this, and
that play was unsuccessful as they faked a pitch to the outside. Miles kept it for himself up the middle. It's a gain of 0 for the Vikings.
Yeah, as interesting as that play is, you can only run it so many times before the defense is going to really pick up on it. I think the strategy there was to try and see how well they could do with it, and they're actually going to line up the same kind of play again.
Miles tries to take it up the middle again, but is swarmed by a number of Trevians for maybe a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, Nutria is really picking up on this play. I don't know if they can run it again successfully for a little while at least.
Vikings have not thrown the ball once on this drive.
No, they haven't. It's gotten them up to around midfield, but
this seems like a passing situation here.
Yes.
As Miguel is in the gun with Miles spread out to the left. Good snap. Miguel throws it up to Miles, but it's overthrown.
Looked like a little bit of potential pass interference from the defense, but there was no call there.
It's going to bring up 4th and 11 for the Vikings. We've got no score here with 9 minutes and 23 seconds left.
Yeah, they're going into punt here at the 4th and long, which is clearly the right move.
Vikings punter is number 19, Tommy Mahalik, brother of Nick Mahalik, who is now punting at Western Michigan for the football team.
Yeah, he had an impressive career here at Niles North. Very successful in the red zone. And
tumbling punt down to the Trevians 30-yard line. Tommy Mahalik's a really good soccer player.
Yeah, so I've heard. He seems to be one of the stands out of his class, and yeah.
So the Trevians are going to take over here at their own 30-yard line against the Niles North defense. They start in the gun, and it's going to be a handoff to running back up the middle. Breaks a tackle, but then is brought down for a gain of about 3.
Yeah, it was a good job by the Vikings to read that play early and not let him get through any holes.
Brings up a 2nd and 7 for the Trevians. They pass it here, number 11, right at the first down marker. Let's see if they give him the spot. They do give him it's a first down for the Trevians. Michael Andre on the catch.
That's going to set up the Trevians with a 1st and 10 at the 40.
Miles Davis coming on a blitz from the right side. He gets to the quarterback. It's going to be a sack for the Vikings. Miles Davis came up to the line from the right and sacked the Trevians quarterback.
And that's that speed we were talking about earlier. He finds a hole in the offensive line and just blitzes and gets right through to the quarterback. Very quick, very fast. Great play by Miles Davis.
The running back was unable to block him on that play. Poor pass protection, and Miles Davis was able to shed the block and sack the Trevians quarterback for a loss. It's going to bring up 2nd and 17 for the Trevians. Flag is thrown by the back judge.
I believe it's for too many men on the field.
I believe New Trier called a timeout. Maybe no flag. So Miles Davis doing it all for the Vikings
Yeah,
in the early stages of this game.
He had a quick start for the offense, helped move the chains a couple times, and big sack for him early. Looking to be a potentially a very good game for him.
Trevians coming out of their timeout and they're ready to go. Vikings set up on defense. 2nd and very long. 2nd and 17 for the Trevians at their own 33-yard line. They send a man in motion and they hand it off to him, number 10. And he's got an opening. And he gains around 12 yards on the play. That's number 10, Donovan Perkins.
It's going to be an interesting choice for the Trevians here to make on this 3rd and 4. What they're going to do, as I'm sure they'd love to move the chains right here and work this drive.
Vikings looking for a big stop against the Trevians, trying to gain some momentum. They send a man in motion. Rollout. Tooting David with the sack. Number 6, Tooting David sheds the block, dives for the quarterback's ankles, and gets him for a loss of 3.
That was great pressure, just pushed on that New Trier line that allowed him to get back there quick enough and give him enough time to get that sack.
Trevians are going to punt here on 4th and 8. Good protection, good punt, good high punt. Miles Davis elects to not pick it up, and it gets a New Trier bounce all the way down to the 7-yard line. Wow, what a punt.
Yeah, that's a really good punt. Really putting the Vikings in a tough position to start this drive.
Expect the Vikings to play this little conservative, play the field position game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many pass plays they will run to start off, if they do run any pass plays, as they don't want to give up any field position to the Trevians or worse.
Miguel Picasso in the gun with Jordan Jackson beside him. Snap is good. Short pass to number 40, but it's through his hands. Jonathan Ellison-Smith could not hold on to that one.
Yeah, not a bad pass by Picasso, but just couldn't hold on to it. Seemed to slip right through his hands.
Now they have Picasso spread out to the right, meaning Miles Davis will take the snap. Tightens his gloves in the gun, gets the snap. It's going to be a run up the middle and stopped by the Trevians for a gain of none or 1.
Yeah, with the amount they've been running this play, this could be interesting to see later if they line Miles back up in the shotgun again, see if he might actually throw the ball a little bit in the near future.
Miguel Picasso in the gun. Short pass, number 15, Miles Davis on the screen. Breaks a tackle, runs into his own guy, and is stopped inbounds. Gain of only 4 or 5 yard gain.
Yeah, not a big gain for Davis on that play. Hard to really get anything when they're that tight on their own side of the field.
So now the Vikings will punt once again. Number 10 Perkins back for the Trevians. That was good pressure by the Trevians on that punt. And the punt gets a Niles North bounce. So it'll roll all the way out to the 50. Right at the 50 for the Vikings.
Yeah, that took a nice bounce for the Vikings as Nutria really put a lot of pressure on the punter Mahalik, and he was able to just get that off, and very favorable bounce for Niles North.
We've got a nothing score here in the first quarter with 4 minutes and 26 seconds left. The Trevians are on offense at the 50-yard line. It's 1st and 10. They're going to pass here, and the quarterback tucks it, and he's going to run. Jordan Jackson chasing him. He's not able to get him until he picks up around 20 yards for the Trevians.
Yeah, he just found a hole there and took the ball with him.
Number 7 Oxenhurt, the quarterback, gain of 19 yards. I'd say 18 yards on the play. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Trevians at the Vikings 32-yard line. It's a handoff to the running back, number 28, but he's brought down quickly by number 6, Tudian David.
Good pressure right there to keep that run to minimal damage.
That was number 28, Brian Sitzer on the carry. Gain of only 2. Bring up 2nd and 8 for the Trevians with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Send a man in motion, fake it to the motion man, and the quarterback keeps it. Picks up a good 6 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short for the Trevians on the Vikings 24-yard line.
This would be a great time for the Trevians to try and capitalize on this drive and to try and get to the scoreboard first.
Handoff to number 28, Brian Sitzer, and it looks like he's got the 1st down for the Vikings. It's another tackle for number 6, Tudian David, though. It's his 3rd tackle on the day, along with the 1 sack he has. He's having a great night so far.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive watching him really just take down the offense and make good defensive plays.
It's a handoff for the Trevians to number 10, Perkins, but he's brought down by number 15, Miles Davis, on the outside. Was a gain of 8 on the play, though. We'll bring up 2nd and 2 for the Vikings, for the Trevians, pardon me, on the Vikings 18-yard line. Number 34 on the carry up the middle for the Trevians, Cameron Powell. He gains around 1 or 2 yards. But he gets the first down for the Trevians, making it 1st and goal from the 10 for New Trier. They send a man in motion to the left. High snap. Quarterback keeps it and is brought down short of the goal line by number 37, Matthew Artego. Quarterback had the option to pitch it there. It's the old school option at the outside. He decided to keep it, and he gained around 6 yards in the play.
Yeah, the Vikings should probably expect a run up the middle, as that seemed to have been working in these short yardage situations for New Trier.
They send another man in motion, and the quarterback keeps it right in the middle for the Trevians, and he scores a touchdown, making it 6-0 New Trier with 29 seconds left in the first quarter. Trevians will kick the extra point as opposed to going for 2 here. That was a 3-yard run by the quarterback, number 7, Carson O'Shenhurt. Kicker is number 25, Graham Dable. He's a lefty. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 Trevians with 29 seconds left to go in the first quarter. That was a long drive by the Trevians that started at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, they took it up from midfield all the way for the score, and they get on the board first, making it 7-0. 29 seconds left in the first quarter.
Vikings have fallen on hard times here recently in conference, getting blown out by both GBS and Maine South most recently. They're in a tough conference though, as Maine South, this New Trier team, and the Evanston team they will be facing in 2 weeks on October 19th are all ranked in 8A football. That makes it tough for the Vikings.
Yeah, this is a very tough conference to play in for football. I mean, lots of ranked teams, lots of very competitive teams, and they have an opportunity to try and prove that they can make some noise in this conference by potentially making this a close game.
Trevians kicking off to the south end zone. It's a deep one again. Miles backs all the way up. Stays out of the end zone so he can return this one. And he takes it out to the 20-yard line. 20-yard kick return. Vikings will take over at the 21-yard line with 21 seconds to go in the first quarter, and being down by 7 to the Trevians. Picasso in the gun throws a quick screen to number 10, Jalen White, who has to back up for the pass, then gets a few yards before running out of bounds. There's a gain of 2 or 3 on the play. Picasso out to the left as a receiver, so from what this formation we can expect a run from Miles Davis, but let's see if they try something new. Just more of the same as Miles tries to bounce to the outside, but he's going to lose a few yards in the play as he was tripped up briefly. and then tackled by the Trevians.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that they're running this play as often as they are still, as it hasn't been bringing them too much success lately, but maybe they're leading up to something that could goof up the New Trier defense.
And that play brings us to the end of the first quarter. 7-0 Trevians. 7 Trevians, 0 Vikings. As you can see, the Vikings have 3 timeouts left, and the Trevians have 2.
Yeah, we've got a close game on our hands so far. And the Vikings will start with the ball in the second quarter.
I'm going to be honest, Chris. I am surprised of how close this game is based on the previous performances of these Vikings. I think that it's saddening, but I think that if the Vikings had starting quarterback Tremaine Connor and star wide receiver Savon Davis, that they would have scored, making this game a lot more competitive.
Yeah, but it is very early, and they've kept it. They've kept the New Trier offense from doing too much. So I think
Picasso throws one deep, but it's incomplete.
I think we could see. I think we have a good game on our hands.
I think as long as the Vikings play turnover-free football, should be a fairly competitive game. But they've got to find a way to mix the passing and rushing of their offense, keep the New Trier defense off balance. Mahalik scoops up the punt smoothly, scoops up the snap, as it was low. And number 10 of the Trevians lets that punt go. He almost touched it.
Yeah, that could have been pretty bad for the Trevians, as the Viking punt team was out there and ready to scoop up any mistake made by the Trevians.
Trevians will take over on their own 42-yard line. Up 7-0 to the Vikings with 11 minutes and 43 seconds left here in the second quarter. Number 7 drops back deep and throws it deep, and it is incomplete to the tall receiver, number 81 of the Trevians, Potter Burns. That guy's 6'3". Wow.
Yeah, that could have been a great catch right there with the defense right in his face, but went through his hands. Good pressure by the Niles North cornerback.
That New Trier tight end's a big kid, number 5. He's 6'5", 265. I'd give him the ball.
Yeah, he sure seems like he has the
wow.
The ability.
And a flag is thrown, but Miles Davis had a clear shot at the quarterback. Quarterback number 7, O'Shenher, got rid of that one quickly to slant, but it was dropped by number 16, Sean McNeely. That one could have gone the whole way if he caught that. Pass interference called on the offense. So that'll back the Trevians up.
It's an interesting call. I didn't necessarily see what the interference was, but
it's going to back the Trevians up quite a bit. What is that, a 15-yard penalty?
Sure seems like it, yeah. Wow,
that's going to bring up a third and repeat of down. It's going to be still second down. But it backs the Trevians up all the way back to their own 26-yard line. 2nd and 25. Number 7 drops back deep to pass again. He's got a guy open, but he overthrows him. Number 7, O'Shenhurt, had number 10 Perkins open, but he overthrew it a bit.
Yeah, if that ball wasn't overthrown, that could have been an easy touchdown for the Trevians, which would not have been good for the Vikings, especially once they got the Trevians backed up all the way to their own 26.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and very, very long for the Trevians. 3rd and 25. Let's see how they play this one. It's going to be a little rollout for number 7, O'Shenhurt. And he's going to throw it deep to number 16, Sean McNeely, but it's overthrown. Coverage on the play was number 5, Giovanni Pryor. He's a freshman, but he covered that play pretty well.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Seemed to almost trip on his own feet a little bit, but stayed with it and was able to put just enough pressure on the Nutria receiver to keep that big play from potentially happening.
So that brings up a 4th and 25 for the Trevians with 11 minutes and 17 seconds to go. And they're up by 7 here in the second quarter. Dable back to punt for the Trevians. Jalen White to receive. It's a high snap, but he controls it and gets it off. Good punt. Coverage is good. And the Trevians down it at the Vikings 45-yard line.
Not bad position for the Vikings to start this drive.
This will be the best starting field position for them this game.
Yeah, let's see if they can make some noise with positions they've got at the moment.
Picasso's in the gun here. Gets the snap. Handoff to number 12, Jordan Jackson. He gains her 2 or 3 yards on the play before being tackled by a swarm of Trevians defense.
I was a bit surprised that he got the yardage he did, as he was met by a couple Nutria defenders in the backfield.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 7 for the Vikings at their own 48-yard line. It's timeout on the field as there is an injured Trevian on the ground at the 50-yard line. Trainer's looking at him right now. Hey, Chris.
Yes.
What do you call a parade of bunnies that are hopping backwards?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard that one before. Let's see it.
It's called the receding hairline. Get it?
That's a good one.
Hairline.
I'm gonna
Call that LeBron James.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm definitely gonna remember that one.
Those Showtime Lakers
that's a good one.
looking good this preseason.
Yeah, they seem to have a pretty stacked lineup to contend with the Western Conference.
And we're ready back to go here on Friday Night Lights at Niles North. Picasso drops back to pass, and the receiver falls down, and it's an interception for the Trevians. Number 4, Connor Rooney, picks that one off.
No flags thrown, so I'm assuming he must have just tripped on his own feet. Or
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Trevians offense will take over at their own 32-yard line.
That's an unfortunate turn of events for the Vikings as they started the drive with pretty good field position.
Trevians throw a pitch out to number 28, and he's tackled by number 15, Miles Davis, number 40, Jonathan Ellison Smith, and number 6, Tooting David. But that is all after he gets the first down yardage. Carry by number 28, Brian Sitzer.
The Trevians have been quite successful at moving the chains this entire game, as that's been their main way of driving up the field. They haven't had too many really big plays, but those 10-yard gains or so are really helping them.
Another rollout by O'Shenhurt, number 7, the quarterback. But he's got nobody open, and he finally just throws it out of bounds. Good coverage by the Vikings on that play, as he couldn't find a receiver to throw to.
The Vikings left him with nothing to do but roll out of the pocket and just trash the throw.
I'm surprised that the Trevians don't use number 5 as number 5 jogs off the field here. They only seem to use him in pass protection or in run blocking, as he is also a defensive lineman. He's a D end, but he's a big kid.
Yeah, he looks like he could be a potential playmaker. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him for the rest of the game.
O'Shenhurt rolls out again and throws it to number 10, Perkins, and he gets the first down for the Trevians, and then is tackled by a number of Vikings. It's going to be a first down at the 45-yard line for the Trevians. There's 9 minutes and 34 seconds left here in the second quarter, as the Trevians lead 7-0 against the Niles North Vikings. Number 34 is in at running back right now, Cameron Powell. As snap is to number 7 and is handed off to Powell. He runs straight up the middle, breaks a number of tackles, but then is brought down by number 15, I believe, Miles Davis. Wow, Powell just went straight up the middle, and he gained around 15 yards on the play for a Trevians first down.
Yeah, he just exploded through the line and got a big pickup to move the chains for New Trier and put them in a position to score.
Powell still in and running back as O'Shenhurt's in the gun. It's a QB option, and O'Shenhurt keeps it and runs to the right. He gains a good amount of yards, but there's a flag thrown in the backfield. It's going to be a holding call against the Trevians, so erase that play.
Well, the Vikings get a break there, as the Trevians QB would have probably moved the chains right there.
It's going to bring up first and 20, I believe, for the Trevians, following the placement of this foul.
Yeah, the Trevians have had a couple of tough breaks for them on the last 2 drives, as they ended the last drive with a 4th and 25, and they currently have a 1st and 20.
Quarterback keeps it up the middle again, trying to get some of that penalty yards back, and he gains just about all the penalty yardage back. It's going to be a gain of 8 or 9. Trevians have the ball at the Vikings' 25-yard line.
It's going to be a 2nd and 11.
8 minutes left here in the second quarter. Trevians leading 7-0. O'Shenhurt's in the shotgun again with Powell beside him. O'Shenhurt drops back to pass, and he completes to number 81. Burns, number 81, Potter Burns, makes the catch and gets the first down. It's going to be first and goal for New Trier at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, last time they were in the red zone, they were successful in scoring, and that's why it is 7-0 at the moment.
It's a little play up the middle for the Trevians. That was number 28, Sitzer, and he brings it to the Vikings 3-yard line. Second and goal for the Trevians with 7 left here to play. O'Shenhurt's in the gun. Trevians offense on the left hash. I expect a run play here. It's a handoff to Sitzer, and he gets a touchdown.
Yeah, another run up the middle for the Trevians has led to a couple of successful scores.
Number 37, Matthew Artejo is unable to make the stop on the play. And the Trevian score, making it 13-0 with 6 minutes and 54 seconds left here in the second quarter. Number 25, Dabble, will be on to kick the extra point for the Trevians. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good for the Trevians. That makes it 14-0 here in the second quarter. I'd like to give a shout out to fellow baseball player and cameraman Austin Tellefson down on the field.
Yeah, he's doing a great job out there. Glad to see him doing his job.
He's over there on camera too. So the Vikings are trying to get something here and go on offense. It's been a tough go for them. Have to compare the Vikings offense to maybe the offense of the Cubs or some of these playoff teams in MLB just can't seem to score runs. Rockies are having trouble. It's been tough go for some of these MLB teams.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Cubs, they played pretty solid defense and great pitching, but couldn't bring in the runs, and that's why they got eliminated early in the wild card. And the Rockies right now are having a tough time against the Brewers, unfortunately.
So once again, the Vikings are deep back to receive this kickoff from number 25, Dabble. Number 15, Miles Davis, and number 16, Christopher Harris deep as Dabble kicks off. This one's a little bit shorter. It's going to be very returnable for the number 15, Miles Davis, as he tries to find some space. And he takes it up the seam, and he gets a very good return out to about the 39-yard line. Brings up pretty good field position for the Vikings.
He was able to sneak through that Trevian kick return defense and was able to put the Vikings, again, for the second drive in a row in some pretty solid field position.
Let's see what the Vikings can do with that field position here.
Unfortunately, last drive it was a interception, but hopefully there will be a little bit more success for the Vikings on this next drive.
Picasso here's at wide receiver. Miles Davis takes a direct snap, and he's met by a number of Trevians. Breaks the first tackler, but then cannot break the grasp of number 28, Sitzer.
Yeah,
and he's dropped for a loss.
It's going to be about an 8-yard loss, and I don't know how much more they're planning on running this play, but ever since the first couple plays of this game, it has not brought them too much success.
Picasso drops back to pass, and he throws right, but it is incomplete to number 5, Giovanni Pryor, defensed by the New Trier defense.
He had to do something there, but there was nothing to really do, so dropping back and trying to at least get the ball out was his best bet, as dangerous as that play could have potentially been.
Said it once, we'll say it again. The Vikings offense is very limited here today with the absence of number 13, Jermaine Connor, starting quarterback, and very explosive wide receiver, Savon Davis. Picasso drops back here to pass. It's a deep one, and it is almost intercepted by the Trevians, but it is incomplete.
Dangerous throw there by Miguel Picasso. Lots of coverage on that left side, and fortunately for the Vikings, the ball was not picked off.
The Vikings will punt here, as it is 4th and very long. Perkins back deep to receive the punt for the Trevians. But first, the Vikings call a timeout. So it's going to be 14-0 here with 5 minutes and 58 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Following this timeout, the Vikings will punt. Well, if you're a fan of the MLB, the Boston Red Sox are up 5-0 on the Yankees after 4 innings.
J.D. Martinez hit a 3-run homer, and that helped them get this lead against the Yankees. Who are you rooting for, Chris?
I'm rooting for the Red Sox, and I think the Yankees fans are a little disappointed because everybody knows what they were chanting against the A's in that wild card game.
Yeah,
we want Boston. I don't know if they want Boston right now.
Yeah.
Being down 5-0.
Yeah, I'm going for the Red Sox too.
It's a high punt by Mahalik, and it takes a nice Niles north bounce, and flag is thrown. That punt came out to the Trevians 29-yard line, and that flag is going to be a block in the back against the Trevians.
Yeah, these punts by Mahalik, though they might not be getting as much airtime as they potentially could, or as we would want, they've been able to take some good bounces and put the Vikings in a much more solid defensive position than they could be resulting in.
So that's going to push the ball all the way back to the Trevians 19-yard line. Let's see if the Vikings can get a nice explosive play to flip field position here. You know, on those first 2 drives of the Trevians, the Vikings were able to hold them to a punt by getting sacks by Miles Davis on one drive and Tootie and David on the other drive. I think they need another play like that to help hold this Trevian offense.
Yeah, especially something early, as they've been relying on these quick 10-yard gains to really push them up the field.
So another carry by number 28, Sitzer, up the middle, and he's going to get the first down.
And that's what really needs to be stopped here, is those quick first downs, because you can't do much on defense when they're refreshing their drive each time.
So the Trevians are at 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. O'Shenhert's in the gun. He drops back to pass. Blitz coming from the Vikings, but he gets the ball off to number 10, Perkins, who catches it. 20, 10, 5, and he scores a touchdown for the Trevians. O'Shenhert saw pressure, 10, but he got the ball off to number 10, 5, Perkins. And he scores, connected for 10, a touchdown, 5, and he scores 71 yards. Wow.
Great throw by the Trevian quarterback to find an open receiver down deep, and he just outran the Viking defense.
The Vikings sent a blitz on that play as Tooting David and Jordan Jackson were after the quarterback, but he got it off in time, making the score 20-0 Trevians. With 5 minutes left here in the second quarter. Dabble on for the extra point. Snap is a little high, but it's handled, and the kick is up and good for the Trevians. It is now 21-0 Trevians with 5 minutes left in the second quarter.
Well, the Vikings are going to, on their next drive, if they want to bring this game a little closer, they're going to really need to keep themselves from losing big field position and converting their first downs, because that's just what's been tearing apart their offense this entire game.
This Vikings team in general has been falling on hard times here. As I'm looking at some of the records here, and that 2014 team was a really great team. They had quarterback Tony Granato. He set a couple records. Obviously, running back Barrington Wade, who's playing in Iowa right now. Haven't seen football like that in a while here at Niles North.
Yeah, we're hoping to see that in the next couple of years, though, as this team is still a very young and developing team.
Number 25, Dabble, set to kick off to the Vikings. Kicks a long one to number 15, Miles Davis, who keeps it from going into the end zone. And he's trying to gain a few yards, slips a tackle, and is brought down at the 16-yard line.
Well, the Vikings will have to start with some pretty mediocre field position here, but if they want to really start making a comeback or at least try and get a quick score before the half, I think this is the drive that they're going to have to try and do that with.
Picasso here in the gun with trips right. Drops back to pass, but then tucks it and keeps it for himself, and he slides. That's something you don't really see much here in high school football, but the quarterback slides, and he only picks up a few yards.
Well, it's a quick gain, and I'm sure Picasso getting hurt is probably a big worry for the Viking coaching staff, as I'm not sure who they would put in at quarterback if both Connor and Miguel were out.
So Picasso here is spread out to the right. Miles Davis and the Wildcat. Let's see if he can get something going here for the Vikings. He drops back to pass. Here we go. Now to number 10, Jalen White, who shoots it to the outside and is pushed out of bounds, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see what we got here. It was a short game by Jalen White as he caught the pass from Miles Davis on the outside. Referees are discussing the play and what the flag might be. It's going to be a block in the back on the Vikings.
That's very tough for the Vikings, as they're already not in a great position on offense, and now they're going to be dropped back even farther.
That's going to make it 2nd and 16, 17 for the Vikings. Pushed back all the way at their own 10-yard line. It's going to be Miles Davis in the gun. Miles Davis spreads out to the right, and he throws it to number 10, Jalen White, and he hangs on to it. There's a flag over here in the backfield where Miles Davis threw the ball. It might be roughing the passer. Jalen White was able to hang on to that.
Yeah, that was an impressive catch as he was hit hard from behind by Trevians defender.
It looked like the Trevians defender got there early, and it's going to be roughing the passer on the Trevians, which is going to be a 15-yard penalty against them.
Yeah, well, the Vikings did get a penalty for illegal block in the back, I believe, just a little bit earlier, but this should help them just a little bit, put them in very good position to do something with this drive.
So after the completion, tack on another 15 yards, the Vikings got a first down at their own 44-yard line. Here again we have Miles Davis in the gun with a man in motion to the right. Man motions back to the left, and Miles takes it up the middle for a gain of around 4.
Yeah, short gain by Davis there is, that's a little shine of hope for that play that they've been running, as that's the first real rushing gain that Davis has gotten from that play in a while.
Brings up a 2nd and 6 for the Vikings with 3 minutes left to play here in the second quarter, down by 21. Miles rolls out to the left, tucks the ball, runs into a number of Trevians and keeps pushing close to the first down. Let's see if they give it to him. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be just short. It's a gain of around 5 yards for Miles Davis. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Vikings at the Trevians' 47-yard line.
Yeah, converting this here is going to be crucial, as it's a 3rd and inches, and restarting the downs would really help these Vikings in trying to make this game a little bit more competitive.
Miles rolling out to the right for a run, and he's going to get the first down for the Vikings. Finally tackled.
Yeah, there was pressure in the backfield early by the New Trier defense, but Davis was able to use his speed and agility to find a little room and convert.
Picasso out as a receiver here, and Miles Davis is gonna take the snap, rolling out to the left, and he's met by a number of Trevians. Oh, he had a guy open, but he missed him.
Yeah, that was an overthrow right there.
Interesting thing happening here, as the athletic director for the Niles Vikings is running down the sideline, talking to one of the referees, wondering what this might be about.
Very interesting.
Maybe we got a little 2-minute warning here, as the announcement for the 50-50 raffle will be being made here.
Down towards the concession stand. Here's the winning number.
I think we got a little 2-minute warning.
Officials timeout. It looks like we may have a weather delay.
Or we've got a weather delay, folks.
That's
what the AD was running on the
Yes.
sideline for. Maybe there's lightning in the area.
I'm assuming that's the problem here, as doesn't.
And it is
raining
just
pretty hard.
began to downpour.
Yeah, it seems like it. We didn't see this too much earlier, but now it's really coming down.
Gate along the west side of the Niles North High School building. Enter the building on the west side at door number 12. Once inside the building, please follow instructions.
We're going to have to stop the broadcast right now, but we will be back soon because of lightning in the area.
Tune back in later, folks.
We'll be back.